Hello, and welcome to Sky Career Talks, where we connect students with professionals sharing their real-world experiences and career journeys. I'm your host, Tallulah Pentecost, and today I'm very excited to be joined by Moustafa Ibrahim. Mustafa graduated from Rutgers in 2022 with his bachelor's in information technology, and again in 2024 with his Master of Information in data science. Currently, he works as a data scientist at American Express. Mustafa, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and talk with me. I'm very excited to get to hear more about your journey.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, always. I think just to start, it would be lovely if I could get a brief overview of your career journey and how you got to where you are today.
Sure. So my career journey isn't that long, but I started as an intern at TCS, Tata Consultancy Services, while I was undergrad. It was after my junior year. And then I got a full-time offer from them my senior year. And I worked with them throughout my grad program. And then I left in December 2023. And then I finished my last semester in the MI program in May 2024. And then I had about 6 months gap between graduation and my current role at American Express. So I used that time to, of course, apply for jobs. Um, I used it to enhance my skills, and it was a turning point for me, that 6 months period, because it helped me push and level up my technical skills and show employers that I wasn't just ready, but I was also proactive in learning as I'm applying for jobs. And then I landed my current role at American Express, which wasn't easy at all. Had about 3 interviews. They were really rough. But we got there.
Yes, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Um, and what would you say a normal day on the job looks like at as a data scientist there?
So, so everyone has a different day, depends on what they do. Even data scientists would have different days based on their scope of work. I work in the colleague experience group, which is you can call it the HR business unit at American Express. So I do data science um, around the colleagues or the employees' data. My scope of work is risk-related data. So I work with what's called scorecard, colleague scorecard. So scorecard is pretty much a measuring tool that every company has to measure different things. For example, at American Express, their enterprise scorecard comprises 4 different sections, and one of them is colleague, which I'm responsible for. The other section would be customer, and the other two would be strategic and shareholders. So it's a way for them to measure their performance throughout the year. We usually report every quarter or as requested by the senior leaderships. I'm also responsible for the risk appetite framework, which we track and measure the attrition of the colleagues on different levels and different metrics per market, per legal entity, or per business unit. So those are the major 2 processes or projects that I work on constantly since I joined. I also work on risk-related ad hocs. So any risk-related ad hocs that concern um, colleagues' data, that would be me working on them. And currently, I'm actually working on a very cool project. So American Express, they moved from Category 4 to Category 3 as a bank and financial institution. So that means there would be more stringent regulations, more audit, risk and privacy governance by the government on American Express. So I'm building a machine learning model to figure out the pattern and cluster the colleagues that mainly focus on risk-related work across the entire enterprise. So I'm working with their data and their scope of work to determine or figure out a pattern between their maybe job name, their job family, their business unit, and see what's the best combination that identifies those um, colleagues who work on risk-related matters.
Yeah, yeah, it's super cool. And I think, since you have these kind of various responsibilities and some of them are pretty lofty and important, like related to risk and privacy, like you were talking about, what would you say are some of the key skills that have been most important for you in your work day to day at American Express there?
So besides technical proficiency, we're going to get back to it, but besides technical proficiency, I believe that core skills such as communication, storytelling with data, collaboration across functions, curiosity, learning mindset are maybe more important than technical proficiency. Um, Communication would help you connect with people, would help you get your points across. And by communication, I don't just mean to communicate clearly, but also communicate frequently. Storytelling is something that you need to develop every day and better yourself because this is how you're going to stand out. This is how senior leaderships would want to listen to you and trust your insights as well. You could have robust analyses, but you don't know how to get your points across and how to tell the story, and that would hold you back. I'm not saying it's something that will hold you back. It only would hold you back if you don't develop it and learn from others, because everyone has different skills and different ways of telling stories. So I think you should be ready for different audience and tailor your story based on their understanding of the data and their needs. So when it comes to technical skills as a data scientist, um, I would say understanding the context of the data is the first step, and it's one of the most important steps in working with data. Um, and then you'd want to work with Python and SQL. You want to have a good understanding, develop your skills in those two tools. Um, Depends on your scope of data science, but these are the major two that you need to learn and master along the way, Python and SQL. And of course, working with databases.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Thank you so much. And this next question's sort of shifting gears a little bit, but do you think you could tell me a little bit about what your favorite thing is about your career and why?
Sure. So my career has been in like different businesses or focuses, but currently my current role, my favorite thing about it is literally the company, not just because it's a big company, but it's because of the environment, the culture that they promote here in the company. They really value development and collaboration and your evolution as well. They're always encouraging you to grow. They encourage you to find your next best role within the company. They push your boundaries, and it's very easy to have a coffee chat with senior leaders who aren't even in your business unit or on your team. They promote that culture. So if you want to learn about a different role, a different acumen of business, you're just curious about anything, you can reach out to a director, a VP, senior VP, and they'll make the time for you. They would want to listen to you, and they would give you directions and they help you learn from their experience and how to get there faster than they did.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that sounds like a wonderful work culture. I'm kind of jealous. Hopefully I can work somewhere like that.
Oh,
Um,
you will.
Surely, yeah. And finally, if you can think back to when you were a student at Rutgers, or other students who are currently at Rutgers wanting to get into data science, wanting to work where you are right now, what advice do you think you could give to them?
So from experience, when I was at Rutgers, I worked on campus and I didn't do anything relevant to data science at all. I was a lifeguard. And then I kept working at the gym until I graduated. Um, so I enjoyed that job very much, but my advice to anyone at Rutgers, like the current students, don't hold yourself back doing the same thing just because you enjoy it, especially if that thing isn't going to be your future career. I think I could have done something more relevant to data science when I was undergrad and even in grad school. But I mean, it worked out well because I was an intern for an IT company and I worked with them full time. But if you're currently doing anything that's fun, like lifeguarding, work in the dining hall or something like that, try to explore different areas, especially if they're relevant to where you want to be. Don't hold yourself back. Get a good foundation in your technical skills. Make sure you develop that. Make sure to be curious and have a robust mindset. Be more like fluid, that wherever you go, you're willing to learn and fit in. Um, and I remember one of the best advice I've ever received was from one of my mentors at Rutgers, was that if anyone walks into the room and they ask for a volunteer, make sure you're the first one to raise your hand because this is how people will learn more about you. This is how you're going to stand out. This is how people will trust you and would always think of you when the right opportunity comes. And other advices that I heard here at American Express way too many times is that it's not just about what you know, but it's also about who you know. So make sure you start your network, reach out to people, be interested in people and their work, not just because you want something out of this connection. Uh, Remember, the favorite topic of everyone is themselves. So make sure to be curious about people, about their work. You don't necessarily have to want something out of this conversation besides just learning and um, getting to know that person. And I believe at Rutgers, you have a lot of opportunities. There are great professors that you can connect with. Make sure they know you by name. Make sure you introduce yourself to every professor that teaches you, because they could be a turning point in your life, whether with the right opportunity or with just teaching you and um, thinking about you when they find a valuable opportunity for you.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful advice. And, I think a lot of students get kind of scared at the prospect of networking because it sounds like it's very formal and, you've got to like give your elevator pitch, but it can be as simple as you said, just ask them questions about themselves, get to know them, be the first to volunteer. That's great advice. Um, yeah, and before we finish up, is there anything else that you want to say that you didn't get the chance to talk about?
Um, Well, I think I was lucky at Rutgers that I had great professors, especially in the MI program, such as Dr. Taufik Amari, Dr. Jessica Cheng, and Dr. John Oliver, who actually helped me to get into the program, the MI program. I don't think he remembers me even, but he was one of the helped me get where I am today, whether he realizes or not. So yeah, I love Rutgers. I'm always there whenever you guys need me.
Amazing. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Um,
you for your time.
yeah, I think that concludes this talk. So thank you again for talking with me. This has been great. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.